Hey folks, this is Mary. Welcome back to my channel. So this is Swatching Sunday, and we are going to be doing some swatching, but I thought I would change gears a little bit. We're coming close to the end of my samples. I have a few others left. I have a bunch of Colorverse for some reason, and I didn't want to just swatch a whole bunch of Colorverse. Ironically enough, I have decided to swatch a whole bunch of another brand today. So we're not going to use our sample rack today. We're going to go for these little guys. And you might have seen these on my channel before. These are 1mm samples from Troublemaker. You can see this one is called Petrichor. Now, they used to sell inks directly from their website, and they offered 1mm sample vials. And I ordered these sample vials a couple of times, so these aren't all the samples I have. I have a few others floating around, but we'll save those for another day. But it looks like it holds up to 2mm, but it's supposed to be a 1mm sample, and the vials are not, well, no, when I flip it over and look at it, it does look like it's 1mm. Anyway, I thought I was getting, you know, more than my fair share or something. But anyway, I have duplicates of most of these, so that means I have approximately 2 milliliters of most of these. And I do have my window open, so you might be hearing some outdoor sounds, you know, some birds or lawnmowers or cars racing by. You never know. So I thought it would be fun to swatch some of these today. A couple of them I have already used in pens, and a couple of them I do have bottles of, so I won't be swatching those. I will just be swatching ones that I haven't used before. So it'll be new for all of us. And I do have to tell you, I made another batch of sample cards, and I cannot find my corner rounder, so we're going to have to go with some square cards today. I think Gus has hidden the corner rounder because he hates the sound of me clipping the corners. He always runs and hides whenever I do that. So I try to do a whole big batch at once so he won't have to hear it all the time, just every now and then. But anyway, we have some square cards today and some teeny tiny sample vials today, so it's just a crazy Sunday at Mary's house. But let's get started. Oh, and I did put a little piece of paper towel down inside Bobo, so he can hopefully hold my samples for me. And my my glass nib is so broad, I don't know if it's going to go down in these samples because they're so teeny tiny. Let's compare these to a regular size sample. Here's the traditional ones that we normally get from pen retailers. So these hold about 5 milliliters, and this holds, on the side it says 1.8, but I think if you fill it all the way up, it would hold 2. So this one is more than twice as big as this one. But aren't they cute? They're so little and cute. I just love them. And at some point, I'm going to get them transferred into traditional sized sample vials. But one of the packages leaked, so some of the tags on some of them are just smeared with ink, and I can't tell what they are. I'm sure if I opened them and looked at them, I could tell what ink was inside of them, but I just haven't gotten that far yet. So one of these days, one of these rainy days when I have nothing else to do, I will take care of my Troublemaker samples. I really wish they would bring the samples back because they're so much fun. And, you know, we all like to sample inks before we buy. So who do we have first here? This is Lunetta Twilight Pink. But there are some places that are selling their ink now. There are some retailers that are selling their ink. And I heard about this, gosh, from somebody online. I forget who it was. Okay, I have to make sure I spell this right. Lunetta Park Pink. I have the worst time making K's, I swear. Do you have letters that you struggle with? K's, I think, are my worst. That is right? Lunetta Park Pink. Oh, no. Dang it, it's Lunetta Twilight Pink. Twilight. 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 My goodness. Man, we're off on a good foot today, aren't we? So anyway, there are some retailers who are selling Troublemaker inks, and I first heard about this and I rushed to Pure Pens. Actually, if you go to the Troublemaker website, you can see all of the worldwide retailers who carry their ink. So I went on there and I was looking at the different retailers. Some of them I didn't recognize. I did recognize Pure Pens. So I went to their site and they were sold out of a bunch of the ones I wanted. So I went to the other retailers and looked, and they had the ink in stock. And you know me, I was just in a panic. Somebody had Troublemaker ink and I had to buy it now. So I ordered from this German company, and their website was in German and Google Translate kind of partially translated it. So I had a little trouble ordering, and I ended up placing 3 different orders, you know, not sure that the inks I wanted were in the order. And then this nice lady from customer service was trying to email me to help me, and I had trouble reading her emails, and it was just crazy. But if I had just waited, Pure Pens got ink back in stock. So anyway, that is a lovely bright pink. And I'm thinking it might have a little sheen to it, but we'll have to wait for him to dry. Didn't get much of a drip though, but very pretty. And my battery is telling me that it's low, even though I have my phone plugged in, so pardon me. Well, I don't know what happened there, but my phone was telling me that the battery was running out, even though it's plugged in, so hopefully it's charging now, but I guess it'll tell me again if it's getting low. Ah, technology. Okay, so where was I? Who is next? This is Petrichor. And I've never looked up that word to see what it means, but it's a very interesting looking ink. Ooh, my nib just does fit down in there. All right. This is Petrichor. That seems kind of dry coming off the nib. But of course with glass nibs it's hard to tell. But anyway, so I've placed this order with this German company, and I think part of my order might have been shipped, but I'm not sure. So at some time between now and the end of the year, I should have some Troublemaker inks. Ironically enough, Pure Pens has gotten their inks back in stock, and I have ordered from them before without trouble and gotten things fairly quickly for something coming from the other side of the world. So who knows? The moral of the story is don't panic. All right. Well, that is very interesting. I just love Troublemaker inks. I wish everybody had access to them. They are just so fascinating. But I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that now that a few retailers are carrying them, that more and more will. All right. Next up we have Purple Yam. And Gus is making some snorting noises at me, so I might need to let him outside. We'll see. We'll see how long he lets me do this. I have had purple yams. I can't say they're my favorite. There are sweet potatoes that have, wow, that is really coming off the nib. That is very, very wet. There are some Japanese sweet potatoes that have kind of reddish skin and pale flesh, kind of yellowish white flesh. And there are some that have purple skins and white flesh. And there are some that have purple skins and purple flesh. And there's probably even more than that. So I like the ones that have the reddish skin and the pale flesh the best. The ones that have the purple flesh, they're just not my flavor. But this color looks exactly like the ones with the purple flesh. I mean, this is exactly what those look like. That is crazy. It seemed really wet coming off of the nib, but I'm not getting a drip. It's a very pretty color though. We have a couple of Asian markets around here that just have everything. They're so much fun to go and look at. This is Kawasan Teal. And I almost put this one in my Curadas, but I ended up going with the Opon Channel Blue, which did not work. Did not work. I don't know if it was because the ink was too dry or the Curadas was just too picky, but it did not work. Kawasan Teal. Now, if I'm not mistaken, these inks are made in the Philippines, and they are named after things in the Philippines. So I did look up the Opon channel to see if it was blue, because the ink really isn't blue. It's really kind of a tealy green, but the pictures looked exactly like the ink, or the ink looked exactly like the pictures. So that was pretty cool. So I wonder what Kawasan is. Oh, that's lovely. That is a very bright green. I mean, it still has some blue undertones, so I wouldn't call it a green green. You know, a teal is the appropriate name, but it's very bright. Again, it's feeling a little bit dry. And I know when you could order the inks off of their website, oop, uh-oh, bent my Q-tip. You could order them in dry, regular, or wet. So the samples, I couldn't order them anyway, I just ordered the samples. So I don't know if the formulas are dry or wet or regular. Let me see. Let's do this one. Yellow Tartanilla, or Tartanilla. I guess it's like vanilla, Tartanilla. Ooh, I'm just getting all the ink on my fingers. Ooh, uh-oh, and he had some little dry bits, and that was somebody dripped. Okay, whew, ink everywhere. All right, and this is yellow. Uh-oh. Tartanilla. Tartanilla. It's very yellow. I think this one might be hard to read. Let's see what the swatch looks like. The vials do seem really full. Ooh, my, that is bright. I don't think I've ever tried to write with a yellow ink. Let me rephrase that. I have never tried to write with a yellow ink. So I don't know if they're intending for people to write with this, or if they're intending for people to mix it, or they just wanted to make this color. I don't know. I'm just not getting a drip. Getting some blobs. But that is very bright. It has a hint of yellow to it. This one is Mango, which should be an orange, I would assume. It's looking very orangey. Yes, definitely orange, and it looks like it would have some nice shading. Oh no! I just realized I forgot to put the name. I forgot to put the name of the maker on all of these cards. Oh dear. Dear, dear, dear. Troublemaker. I'll go back and fix the other ones. I mean, with some of these names, there's absolutely no doubt who the maker is. But then, like Mango, anybody could have an ink called Mango. But Petrichor, I think that's only Troublemaker. Ooh, well, he just dripped on the card. Well, that'll be interesting to see how that dries. Oh, wow. That is very bright and tangerine-y. And I have to say, I've never seen a mango this color. Usually mangoes, the flesh is kind of a pale orange. Have you ever tried one of those champagne mangoes that are really light colored? Those are good. Now if I just touch the Q-tip and don't squeeze it, it seems to run much better. Huh. Interesting. Oh, did I show you that one? It's very bright and tangerine-y. All right, who do we have left? This is Basilica Red. I wonder what red basilica there is in the Philippines. I don't think they have extra information about their inks on their website, but of course you could just do a search for any of these things. Basilica Red. Ooh. Oh, and I forgot Troublemaker. These inks are just troublemakers. That is much darker than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a bright red, but it's very brown looking, which I prefer. I'm not a big fan of the bright reds. Let's see. Oh, wow. Oops, excuse me, Bobo. That is very pretty. Kind of a brick red. A lot of brown in it, but very pretty. And definitely the kind of red that I would like. Okay, I tried squeezing and I tried touching. We're just not getting anything here. Oh, there's something. Very nice. I would almost say it's kind of a burnt orange or kind of a burnt brick red. Very interesting. All right, here is Kelp Tea. So I'm thinking this one must be green. And that's looking pretty greenish. It's a fun name too. Kelp Tea. I wonder if they make kelp tea in the Philippines. I wonder what that would taste like. I don't think I would like that. But you never know. You never know till you try. Kelp Tea. Dang it, I forgot the Troublemaker. Troublemaker. Yes, if I made tea out of kelp, I think it would look like that. Ooh, what a very interesting green. Oh, I got a hair there from my Q-tip. Oh, well. I'll get him out later. These are some hairy Q-tips. And these are Q-tip brand Q-tips. What's up with that? Now I think Kelp Tea is supposed to be one of their multi-shaders, like Milky Ocean. Milky Ocean, which is my favorite. I love it so much. So we'll see what kind of colors come out with this when it dries. All right, next we have hanging rice. Well, that sounds interesting. Does rice hang? I always thought rice grew in the ground, you know, like rice paddies. But I'm sure there are different kinds of rice. I mean, well, wild rice grows kind of like other rices, kind of in the water, at the edge of the water. So I don't know. It's very pretty though. Wow. Also makes me think of the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, which I heard were beautiful. But does anybody know what those gardens looked like? It was one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, but do we even know what they were? Oh, I just realized I forgot to write Troublemaker. Ugh, it is just not a good day for swatching. What am I saying? Every day is a good day for swatching. It's not a good day for writing information correctly, but that's okay. Ooh, getting a big drip out of that one. Okay, can I squeeze Troublemaker in here somewhere? Let me see. I'm gonna try. Troublemaker. There we go. Very nice. Very pretty. And look at the shading on that writing. That is beautiful. All right, we're down to our penultimate ink. Ooh, which one should I pick? Which one? Which one? I'm going to pick this one. This is Freedom Park Rose. I guess that's what I was thinking about before with that Lunetta Twilight Pink. I was thinking Lunetta Park, but this is Freedom Park. Woo, so confused. Ooh, I feel like my nib is a little dirty there. Okay. Uh-oh. Oh dear. He's dripping all over the place. Come on now. See, these things are way fuller than just 1 millimeter or 1 milliliter. So I stuck my nib in and he just ran over. My ink vial runneth over, which I would not say is a bad thing. Okay, he's just going to have to sit there very quietly on his own while I write. And everybody cross your fingers because it's going to be fine. Okay, what did I say? This is Troublemaker. Yay, I remembered to write the name first, or the maker first. Are we all watching that vial so it doesn't spill? Watch the vial so it doesn't spill. And this is Freedom, oops, Freedom Park. I'm going to squeeze it in. Rose. My goodness, I'm having trouble today. Okay, everybody watching the vial? Watch the vial, make sure it doesn't run, or doesn't spill. It's already run. I just don't want it to run anymore. Okay, so let me wipe him off a little bit. Make sure I got everything off the outside. And now Bobo needs a bath. But it was very helpful that I stuck a piece of paper towel down inside of him. And that kind of forestalled any catastrophe. There we go. Ooh, well that came out very interesting in its watered down form. Oh, ha ha. I forgot to swatch it. Okay, I'm just going to hold on to it this time. How's that sound? Bobo is very capable. However, I'm just going to hang on to it myself. Wow, that is really dark. Now, I've had these samples for probably going on 2 years. So I wonder if they're all still the color that they're supposed to be, you know? If they have changed or something. I was looking at one of them, not one of the ones I'm swatching today, but I was looking at a different one, and it looked kind of granular. So I don't know if that one has shimmer in it or not. Some of them do have shimmer. None of the ones today have shimmer. That is really pretty. Can you see that shading? That is just lovely. My handwriting is terrible, but don't look at that. We're just looking at the ink. All right, our final contestant of the day is Tableau. You know, I think Tableau has a U on the end, so maybe that is not pronounced Tableau. Tablia? I'm not sure. Ooh, it's looking very brown. Let's see. And I will dip carefully, and I will remember the name, Troublemaker. Oh wow, it is brown. Troublemaker. Tableau. Tableau. I'm not sure. But it's definitely brown. Kind of a really dark sort of chestnutty brown. Oh, it feels kind of dry though. I promise there's ink on this Q-tip. And it's drying, and I swear I'm seeing some green come out in it. So it'll be interesting to see what this guy does. Oh, he's running all over the place. It'll be interesting to see what he does when he dries. So, okay. We are going to give these guys a chance to dry, and then we are going to come back and take a look. So I will see you in a minute. All right, let's look at some ink. Here is the Lunetta Twilight Pink. And please excuse my use of a marker to put in the name Troublemaker. I was going to go back with the glass nib, but nope, didn't happen. So I'm seeing some kind of yellowish sheen around the dark area here. I don't see any sheen on the letters, but I do see some nice shading. That's very pretty. It's kind of a bubblegum pink, a little bit darker than bubblegum pink. Next up we have Petrichor, which is a very interesting looking gray. There are some undertones of green and purple in there. Very interesting. I don't see any sheen, but it looks like it would be a nice shader. They have such interesting inks. Here is the Purple Yam. And I'm seeing some green sheen around the blotches. And it's a very dark, beautiful purple. I love it. And the ink seemed to go on very wetly. It seemed to write wetly from the nib. So I don't see any shading in there because it was so heavy. But very cool. Here is Kawasan Teal, a very brightish teal green, and oh, lots of red sheen. You can see that. Very interesting. Or maybe even pink. I guess that would be pink sheen. And some shading in the writing. Very pretty. It's a bit brighter in person than it is on camera. Let's see. Can I get it to where it looks like I can see it? No. But it's a brighter green than that. Let's see. Can we scoot these guys down a little bit? All right. Here is yellow Tartanilla. And that is a very bright yellow. I don't see any sheen on it, and I really don't know if you could write with this. Oh my goodness. There is some interesting shading in the writing, but I think it would just be really hard to see. So fun to play with, but unless your recipients have really good eyesight, I don't know if you would want to write to them with this. Whew. Next up we have Mango, a very bright orange. I'm seeing a little bit of some sheen around here, maybe some pinkish kind of sheen. I don't know if you can see that a little bit, but it's a really bright, happy tangerine kind of color. Again, I wouldn't call this mango because mango to me is somewhere in between these two. It's somewhere between a bright orange and a bright yellow. It's kind of a medium light orange, maybe. I don't know. But still a very pretty orange. Ooh, we're all kind of getting out of the camera angle here. Let's see. Here is Troublemaker Basilica Red. And it's a very brownish kind of brick red. And there's a little bit of some dark stuff going on around the edge there. I don't know if I would exactly call that sheen, but it's definitely dark around the edges. But it's a very pretty brownish red color. Here we have Kelp Tea. This is one of those multi-shaders like Petrichor. And I do see some hints of brown in with the green, but again on this watercolor paper I don't think it shows the colors to their best, but there is some nice shading on the writing. Very nice, very subtle. Here is Hanging Rice. This is a very nice olive green, very pretty. And this one does seem to be showing up on the camera the way I'm seeing it. So it's a very pretty olive green. And again, there's that dark ring around the drip. Not exactly sheen, but just something going on there. And this also looks like it has some nice shading in the writing. And quite different from the Kelp Tea. Quite a different green. Here is Freedom Park Rose. Now that turned out to be a nice kind of burgundy or a dark magenta, and you can see it's got tons of green sheen. I wasn't sure when I first swatched it. It seemed kind of brownish, but it has dried into a very pretty burgundy color, almost kind of a purple with that green sheen. Very nice. And a little bit of shading in the writing. Not too much, a little bit. Yeah, look at the L. There's some shading there in the U. Oh, and last but not least, we have Troublemaker Tableau? Tablia? I'm not sure. Doesn't that look like Italy? It kind of looks like Italy. I don't know what happened there. All right, it you know, went down on the paper as a really nice brown, but it has dried kind of a bit lighter. And there's a little bit of some green sheen going on, not too much. Do we have some shading there? Not too much shading. It's just kind of a straight brown color. Well, I don't seem to have room for him. I'll just put him right there. All right, well, those are all of our colors for today. And I will see you next week for some more swatching fun. I don't know if I will finish up with my samples or if I might start on some bottles. I have some bottles that need to be swatched also. So we'll see what we get into next time, but I will see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.